Just going to wait for the rest to join us on Instagram, then we'll start. Hey Dad, got a new change of clothes just for you. Just thought I'd start showing some of the other clothes rather than just obviously the soft shells, etc. But doesn't mean I'm in the same thing each day. It's quite nice. I've got loads of it. Probably too much. Not having to clean everything makes this easy. Hey Aaron, well done. I don't know how you're joining me when Dons are meant to be on, but I won't tell them. Respect for that. Keep me quiet in the corner, alright? Now, boxing and anxiety is what we're in today, so I'm going to start it. Going to give a couple of people, actually a few people are asking for a little bit more time, so I'm going to give a couple of seconds. So just going to open up the forum. How is everybody? What have you been up to? What are you looking forward to today? You're muted. Well, you can always listen to me afterwards, so that's all good. But the fact you're here, I like. So well done, girl. That's not your top. No, Dad, your one's still the one back at the other place. It's called the workshop, where it comes from originally. So I think everyone's joined us on the different lives. I think the different people come on at different times by the looks of things. But I'll start. Welcome to another cyber coaching session with me, your coach, Lee Reed. Obviously today, as linked with be it the Children Mental Health Week, I thought I'd cover stress and anxiety, and I thought I'd also throw in boxing with it, because boxing is a great way to try and get rid of some stress, try and get rid of some anxiety. It's something I try and get people to do if they are struggling with that outside of the football side. So if they're suddenly, arguing with the families, or they can't control their emotions, I say go to box. Now, this live is the reason and the reasoning behind it. Now, I've got 10 different reasons for you that we're going to go through, and 10 different little circuits that you can do. Now, normally I would obviously be in the gym doing this on my big bags, my small bags, my round bags, all the different boxing equipment I've got in there. But with Helen obviously working up high, I can't do that today, because it will literally go through the house and she may come down and kill us. So instead of that, I've brought you in here and I'm going to shadow box, but I'm going to show you the movements you can use. Now, you can shadow box with me, or you could just do it onto the actual boxing bag. Now, no matter how big or small your boxing bag is, it doesn't matter. It is perfect to be used. Now, stress and anxiety can take forms of many. Now, as a kid, I used to chew my nails. I used to pick the skin. Sometimes when I come home from coaching, if my fingers have been bad, my skin on the outside of my thumbs is still a nightmare. And that's even to my age now. And I don't tend to suffer with stress or anxiety. But it can come from different things, from sweating, to not being able to sleep right, to not eating correctly. Stress and anxiety can literally come into any part of your life without you even knowing it. So sometimes it's not actually the cure, it's the prevention of it that is going to be the key. And that's what I hope to show you guys today on the live with the 10 different things we're going to cover. Now, stress and anxiety for me is used a little bit too much. It's used too broadly these days. Now, that's a little bit, controversial here and there, but for me, too many people use it as an excuse to continue it. For me, I'd want to find a cure, a prevention, a stoppage. No matter what, I want it out of my life. So here's a few of the ways that I do it, as well as the meditations, the yogas and the stretching. This is some of the physical ways that I'll get stress and anxiety out of my life. Now, bringing this one into play, because obviously this is the current weekly challenge, or current monthly challenge, but there's going to be 4 segments of this one, so one every 4 weeks. The first one of this, if you get hold of one, is the best place you can do it in. Now, that could mean when you're going out for a walk with your mum and dad, can you do it by a lake? Can you do it whilst on a swing? Can you do it after doing a plank? You name it, it can be anything you like. So that is the first task that I'm throwing out there for the boxing ball for this week. Each week there'll be a different task. The more you develop the task, the better you become at the task, is going to be who becomes the champion of the task. Now, hope you guys understand that one. If you don't, there will be a post on it a little bit later, so you'll know a little bit more. But if you haven't got one of these, so I'm going to put that down, because the ones of you guys that probably don't have it yet, because you've ordered it in, we're going to do it without it. And it's going to be fairly simple. Just going to get rid of my ball. out of your picture, all you're going to do, take a front foot stance, either left footed or right footed, so either a neutral stance or a southpaw stance, whichever obviously suits you. You could go full goalkeeper stance, I don't mind. Doesn't matter, this is all about bringing some energy into the place. And what it's going to be is you're just going to go jab, jab, you're just going to go jab, jab. It's just going to be literally 10 or 20, just nice, easy, ducking the back shoulder in if you are on a front foot stance, and little tiny movements, and you're literally just going to be jabbing through. Throwing a few little exercises in there, making sure I'm warmed up. Little bit of footwork as well. You can see my legs are continually moving. It's not just my arms. As I go, I'm also moving my body, so I've got the coordination and the balance at the same time. Now, just flick that out. That's your tiny little warm up. Very simple, very easy. They're only easy movements that we're going to do with you guys today. So it's not designed for the fittest person in the world. This is designed for you just to kind of get rid of those stresses, get rid of those worries, get rid of that anxiety that's building up. We're all in these four walls at the moment, and don't know about you, they're driving me mad. So if they're driving me mad, what are they doing to everybody else? So what we've got to try and do is get a way of going, see you later. All right, that's how we're going to deal with it. Now, make sure you've got your fluids on you, and if you've got a little snack with you, brilliant. Don't be afraid to have a little bit of that whilst you're doing it. So, Ad's going to get my boxing gloves on, and although I might be doing it shadow boxing, I'm still going to do it with the actual gloves. Going to change my workout to mixed cardio. And I'm going to lock myself in. Now, if you don't have boxing gloves, but you want a little bit of weight on your hands, you could go water bottle. You could hold 2 cucumbers. You could hold 2 apples. It doesn't matter. Put a little bit of weight on, make it that little bit more difficult for yourself to use. Now, obviously these gloves aren't the keeper.co.uk gloves, but we can't have it all. So you'll just have to look at the rest of the equipment for our clothing line. Now, obviously with stress and anxiety, the first one I'm going to go for is I'm looking for you to be present. Now, when we're talking about be present, that doesn't mean, yes sir, I'm here. Kind of does, but it doesn't. It's all about your mindset. So when you're present, you're basically shutting out the world. You're getting rid of all the problems in your head. So when I'm present to an exercise, I'm giving everything I can to either the live I'm on, or the movements I'm doing, or the weights that I'm lifting. So being present in something keeps that mind away from everything else. So all those problems, a few times I tell you guys, when you walk past that white line, there's nothing bar you and me. That's being present. It's getting rid of the problems, it's getting rid of the anxiety, it's getting rid of the stresses that are going on outside. And when you're in this area, this is you and me. That is it. So be present in this exercise. No matter what's gone on before, no matter what's happened at school, no matter what's happened with mum and dad, try and get rid of that and focus on what we're doing. So that's your first task. And all we're going to do, jab, jab, punch. Very simple. 10 of them, and we're going to change sides. Ready, set, go. Change sides. Once you've done that, just allow the hands to relax. Now, if you need a drink, go back to your drink, have the little sips, keep taking on the fluids all the time. Now, company. If you're doing this alone, brilliant, not a problem. Enjoy your own company. However, if you've got your mum there, your dad there, maybe you've had an argument with them, sometimes go, hey, come and join me. They could be your person in front. Now, if they're your person in front, they could put their hands up. They could put a pillow in their hands and hold that up. If you've got mitts, like the ones at the back there, you could use those. So it brings other people into the exercise, which makes you feel like you're surrounded by people you care about, people you love, people that want to help you. All those positive emotions are going to be amazing at the moment. So if you've got someone in the room, bring them in. Get them to hold a pillow or hold their hands up. Now if they hold their hands up and they haven't got a pillow, don't hit them hard. You don't want them going after the first punch. You want them to enjoy it with you. And all you're going to do, set your shoulders facing them, and you're going to go uppercut, uppercut. We're literally going to do that for about 20 seconds. So go when you're ready. Keep going. And then relax it down again. Let the arms shake. Take a little fluid on. So I'm going to take the gloves off so I can take on some fluids. Now those guys and girls that know, I've already done 5 sessions today. So I'm a little bit shattered. So I'm not doing it for as long a period as I probably would normally do. Considering 2 of the sessions have been weight sessions. I just want to go to bed. But I'm still here. I'm still going to do the live for you guys. So just make sure you take on the fluids and take your time. Now, when we're talking about stress and anxiety, one easy way of getting rid of it is fast movements. Now, the reason behind that is when you're doing something really, really fast, you're kind of getting on with it, you're putting all the adrenaline into it, you're getting rid of that frustration, and it basically parts those waves for you so you can just get to that good place. So, for the next 20 or 30, we're literally going to hit really, really quick, really, really hard, and we're literally going to aim downwards. So if you have got that other person here, you could even do knee strikes. You could change this to anything you physically like. But all you're going to do is do it nice and quick, nice and sharp. Ready? Bend the knees, shoulders over the top, eye contact down, keep your neutral spine, and you're going to drive for 20. Marks? You ready for this? I'm not. You sure? Go. And relax. Now, again, all these exercises, they can be done 3 times, they could be done 5 times, they could be done longer. All depends on your fitness levels and what you're looking for out of it. So, when you look back past this, don't be afraid to pause me and do the exercise for a little bit longer. Or, I go, you go. All right? So, pausing on these will be brilliant. They will be all released at the end on all the social media, so you can pause and keep it if you need to. Now again, take that little drink if you need it. Now we're going to focus on positive concentration. Now what that means is when you're part of something and you're really focusing positively on the punch or on the movement, your mind goes away from everything else. And what we're going to focus on this time is no hands. We're going to make it difficult. Now, difficult sometimes comes from the feet. When we're in boxing, you think all arms. We're now only going to work with the feet, so it's almost going to be like a step, step, back, step, step, back. But you can do it with your right hand on your head to start with. Then you can do it with your left hand on your head to start with. You ready? So it's step, step, back, big step. Step, step, back, big step. But we'll do it with the right hand on the head, which will then stop us having that easy balance. All right, marks, set, go. Really get that big push off as you come through the front. So really get down onto your quad and drive right the way back. And we're going to change sides. So left hand on the head this time. Still keeping the 2 steps forwards, large step back. If you want the top hand out, you can do. Hey Sharky, wish I had Louis doing this session with me. You could work on the coordination and the technique part of it. Last 2. And relax on that one. Again, take a little drink. So I'm just going to take the boxing gloves off for this one. Now, when we're talking boxing, or we're talking any sort of speed workout or coordination workout or fitness workout, we're looking for a boost in mood. Now, When we're talking a boost in mood, we're talking the endorphins. Now with endorphins, they're the hormones that rush through your body. They're the positive hormones. And what they do is they make you have a nice mood. So when you leave here, you should be giggling, you should be having a laugh, you should be going, that coach is a nutter. That's how I want you leaving, okay? So if I start going, you're meant to laugh, all right? If you're not laughing, I'm not doing my job right. So it's trying to flush the body with positive endorphins and positive moods. Straight away, if I can get that going in my head, as I'm doing any exercise, I'm gonna feel like I'm achieving more. I'm gonna feel like it's been more worthwhile. Whereas if you do the same thing all the time, which I'm hearing a lot from schools, other coaching sort of environments, things like that. Yes, okay, they've gone cyber, but they're doing the same thing every session. Well, I'm sorry, I'm on about the 100th different cyber session now. We've covered over 500 hours, and not one of those hours has been the same. And that's how it should be. It should be a continually transferal, but stopping reversibility at the same time. Unfortunately, we don't see that in schools, etc. So sometimes we need to step up and we need to kind of work out how to adapt it to make it better for ourselves. So if they're only giving you 5 minutes of work and you've got a 2-hour lesson, well, I don't expect a text message to go and coach on board. I want to see you getting a book. I want to see you go and do some planks, some press-ups, some sit-ups, some boxing. It doesn't matter. Make the time useful. You're not going to get this time back. So if you're lazy now, you don't do your technique, you don't do your fitness, you don't keep up with your diet, you're only on a one-way street, and that's downwards. Whereas if you enjoy the outside, you go for walks, you go for jogs, you do some weights, you learn about your food, you learn about nutrition, you learn about hydration, you're only going to go one way, and that's up. Okay? So this next one, we're going to work on going up. And it's all going to be uppercuts. So we're going to go neutral stance, we're just facing, so goalkeeper stance, and we're going to come up and drive through. As I come up, I'm turning my fist, going up and through. If you've got someone helping you, they want to go on a front foot stance and they want to their hands over the top so they can literally come back. You don't want the shoulder coming up and through. So it should just be the hands working, not the shoulder, otherwise you'll cause yourself problems in your clavicle. So boxers or goalkeepers, neutral stance, and you're going to jab through, and we're going 40 times. Marks, set, go. And relax. Simple and easy as that. So you see how everything we're trying to do makes it simple, it makes it easy, it makes it realistic, okay? It's all you're looking for. Now, again, have that little drink. My gloves are getting a little bit sweaty now. Now, when you do it, make sure it's interesting. But also make sure you get a chance to build your self-confidence when you're doing this. Now what I mean by that is, if it's going wrong, step back and analyse it, assess it. Try and work out how you can do it differently that makes it better for you. And if you can find that, it'll give you that self-confidence to build yourself. And at the moment, unfortunately, what we see a lot of the time is people are expecting other people to fix them. Whereas, I promise you, it takes yourself to fix you first. Then from there, with professionals like myself, medical professionals, etc., that can help the brain then recover you, all right? But it takes you, then the professionals, to come in and step in to help that mind change. So when you're doing it, make sure you protect yourself first. You come first. Everyone else, yes, they're important, but they come second. Your mind, your body, number one. All right? So talking about number one, we're going to go lunge, strike. Lunge, strike. So I'm just going to bring something completely different in. Told you, it wasn't just boxing. It's making you feel different. It's making you do something different. We're going to do 10 on first leg, 10 on second leg. Now, I've already done leg days. This is going to hurt. You ready? Set. If I'm lunging with my left leg, it's my right arm punching. If I'm lunging with my right leg, it's my left arm punching. Marks, set, let's go. Ooh, lost my balance now. Don't be afraid to get it wrong. If it slightly goes out, you lose that balance, just start again. Or don't do leg day beforehand. Either way it works. Alright, that's our 10th one. Now I'm going to take the boxing gloves off for the rest of this. Allows me to get my drink easier. Allows me to breathe a little bit more. Now, it's not one I'm going to be able to do, but I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to do it whilst I look at different comments and say hello to everybody. Now, this is all about focus. If you've got someone helping you, they're going to bring up their hand. Both hands are going to stay down. As soon as they bring one up, that's the one you're going to touch. All right? And what I mean by focus is you're completely concentrating only on what's happening. Nothing else outside, nothing else that's going on later. Your focus is on the exercise and the reaction to it. So, mums, dads, if you're joining in, your hand's going to come out, make them touch each time. All right? We're going to go for 20 touches. Marks, set, go. So that'll give me a chance to say hello to everyone on Instagram. Wow, there's some comments going on here. Robert, how are you? Hello, everybody. Your camera's on, like that. Coxie. Yeah, not wrong, Coxie. Agreed. They're doing stuff you can't do. All right, well, if you ever struggle with something, send it to me. I'll help you through it. You're having dinner? Oh, that we like. What are you having? Good lad, Matisse. That's amazing. You keep it going, you keep driving. We're proud of you. Facebook, hello all. No conversation going on there, I like that. That's almost fencing movements. Yeah, all the different movements we're doing today have got all sorts of retrospects for every different sport. You can get, sports are very much multifaceted movements, and they all come from when we first got given a ball to pick up, or a cone to turn over, or steps to do. Everything comes from different ones, and then it's just homing those skills depending on what you're looking for. So it all comes from multi-skilled movements, and that's what sport comes from, which a lot of people forget. They forget the fundamentals. They just go, right, we're going to go on to this. Well, what about the basics? Like, how many times I see people come out of schools that can't do squats? Like, how can you not do a squat? Get your technique right. Lift correctly, you'll control your core, you'll control your back, you'll get a lot stronger legs from it. So yeah, a lot of those sort of movements are all sports related. Now, what we're looking for is a sense of accomplishment on this one. Now, how do we get accomplishment out of something like boxing? Well, we can either be sweating, we can be aching at the end of it, or we can just have had fun during that session. So there's many different ways of actually doing it, but what you accomplish is up to you guys. So I'm going to do a completely different one, and we're going to do a jump, punch, jump, punch, jump. You'd never see it in a boxing ring, but we're going to have a laugh, we're going to have a bit of fun, you can have a smile on your face. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 squats with punches at the same time. Ready? I hope you guys are joining in with me, because if I'm the only one looking nuts, you guys are all in trouble. So, on your marks, set, go. Now, you can probably hear me breathing throughout it all. Make sure you're uptaking the oxygen. Without the oxygen, you don't get the blood rushing around. Without the blood rushing around, you don't get the positive hormones coming into your body. By rights, now you should start feeling, okay, I'm up for this. I'm getting a little bit more tired, but I'm up for it. The blood's flowing. I feel good. I feel ready. I feel like I'm open to the environment I'm in. All right? That's where your next sort of scenario is during a boxing exercise or a cardio exercise. It's that, oh, I feel good. Right, I'm on to the next. Now, speaking of cardio, obviously, the more you do it, the more it flushes with positivity. The the more you gain a positive mind, a positive mood, the more you take on the oxygen, so the more you develop your heart, your lungs, your liver, the better you're going to feel, because you feel fitter, you feel more alive almost. But not just that, you're going to accomplish that cardio, that extra fitness level, and everyone's level is different to each other's. So you're trying to beat your last level, and every time you beat your level, you go up in the world. If you can learn to beat yourself, you can learn to beat anyone. So we're going to change it slightly, because I want to bring the oxygen levels into this one. We're going to go punch, punch, knee. We've done this one a few times. It's one I love going back to. So it's just a little bit of a mixed martial arts one. So it's punch, punch, knee coming up. Punch, punch, knee coming up. We're going to go 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Roughly. I'm not timing it. Hope you not are. Ready? Go. And change sides. Now, coordination of this one's a little bit more difficult. And last two. And just shake that off. Now, obviously comes meditation, relaxation techniques like that, fidget spinners, fidget cubes. But sometimes the actual stress and anxiety is built up so much that a cube, a ring, a flicky pen, they're not going to help. We need to get out, we need to go on a walk. We need to try and get rid of all that pent up aggression. So something like boxing, rowing, cycling, swimming, even sprints, anything like that will be absolutely perfect. Now, one way of getting rid of pent up aggression, this is where I'm going to bring in the ball again. Not so sure you can see that, but I've got the gym ball underneath me. And what we're going to do is we're just going to punch it. Now, if you've got a boxing bag, brilliant. Use one of those right now. And you're just going to jab it 50 times. I'm going to jab the core ball, but every time I jab it, I'm not just going to jab it for jabbing its sake. I'm going to jab it to get rid of anything that I've got inside me, stress, anxiety, worry, anything like that at the moment. It's all going to go into that ball, and it's going to come out of my body. It's going to go through the ball, all right? When it's gone through the ball, that's it, it's gone. I'm not having it anymore. It's not in my body, all right? So that's what I want you guys to do. I'm just going to adjust Instagram. Just decided it's going to zoom in now. And you're going to go for 50, all right? Ready, set, go. It can be as simple and easy as that. Now, last but not least, we've got body awareness. Now, what we mean by body awareness is the more I eat, or the better I eat, the better I sleep, the better I look. So if I change my clothes, I come out of the clothes and I go into something I enjoy wearing, the more cardio I do, so the better my muscles and my bones, etc. develop. Everything like that helps aid body awareness. Now, that comes from food, hydration, sleep patterns, exercise regimes, and it's getting everything on point, which will get the awareness of what you're doing to really kick in. So, I hope, beyond all hope, that I've taught you something today. If nothing else, one or two things would be absolutely brilliant. Now, one thing I want you guys to do after this live finishes, I want you to sit down for 2 minutes and just relax yourselves. Close your eyes, put yourself in your own area. No distractions, no mums or dads shouting at you, just sit down, relax and breathe. Now when you breathe, I want you to breathe in for 7 seconds, out for 5 and hold for 3. Okay, so let's breathe in for 7, out for 5 and hold for 3. That will flush you with positive emotion and positive endorphins. All right, give it a try. Do it for a couple of minutes, see how you feel. But from me, your cyber coach, from boxing and anxiety today, I should do it that way this time. See you soon.